I was gonna start an Amazon business in 2024, this is the exact 5-step system that I would follow. And it's the same system that we used here at Jungle Scout to launch our latest product that now has over 1,200 reviews and has sold over $500,000 in sales. So stick with me because I'm gonna break down this entire system, starting with the very first thing you need to do, and that's to create a long-term plan. If your goal is to make a life-changing amount of money, then trust me, you want to play the long game. And here's why. Now, if you just want the easiest way to sell on Amazon, you could play the short game by reselling other people's assets. But if your goal is to make a life-changing amount of money, then trust me, you want to play the long game by building and selling your own assets. For example, here at Jungle Scout, we found this high-selling product, which did already exist on Amazon. Now, even though it would be easier for us to just resell this product, we'd have to buy it from an existing brand who already bought it from a supplier. And because the brand needs to make their money, they're going to sell it to us at a marked up price. But if we were to become the brand owner ourselves, we could buy directly from the supplier at a much lower cost, which means higher profit margins. And that's exactly what we did. We created this brand here, Jungle Creations. And then we worked with a supplier to create this product. As you can see, we customized the packaging with our brand name on it. We also turned it into a 3-pack versus the 1 and 2 packs that were already on Amazon. But then we also worked with a supplier to improve this product's quality. This is now our product under our brand name. And because we own 100% of it, we now have an asset that we could end up selling one day for 6, 7, or even 8 figures. You can make a lot of money running a business, but exiting the business is how a lot of entrepreneurs have made that life-changing amount of money. And that's exactly why if I was getting started today, I wouldn't really waste my time with any of these 3 business models. Instead, I'd focus all my energy on creating my own private label brand. But obviously, selling a business doesn't just happen overnight. So this is why it's really important to have a long-term plan. And you can just do this in your notes app on your phone. But what I would do now is write down my goals for the next 5 years. So in year 1, you want to try and get your first 100 reviews as fast as possible. The faster you can get those reviews, the faster you will become profitable. And this is just because as you start, your product won't naturally appear on the first page of Amazon. So most of your early sales will need to come from advertising. However, until you get around 100 reviews, the traffic you do get from those ads will be converting at a much lower rate. And this can become very expensive. So you want to try and speed up your path to profitability by getting those first 100 reviews as fast as possible. Now, typically this does mean you have to prioritize revenue over profit, but again, you're just doing this for your first year. In year 2, however, this is when you flip your entire strategy and begin to prioritize profit over revenue. And as you begin to bring in more profit, in year 2, your main goal is to save up for your next product launch. That way, with the profit you made from product 1, you can then use that to launch your product number 2, and ideally that product will go out to the same type of customer that bought your first product. Then over the next few years, you basically just want to rinse and repeat this entire process until you have at least 3 products that are making you money. And this is actually a concept I learned by reading the book 12 Months to 1 Million by Ryan Moran. In the book, he says, if you have 3 to 5 products at an average price point of $30 per unit, each selling 25 to 30 units per day, then you have $1 million business. And the reason I like this mindset is because it's basically showing you how to reverse engineer a 7-figure business. Plus, those are just really good numbers to shoot for anyways. And if you haven't already, I highly recommend checking out this book. In fact, we're going to give away 1 free copy to someone random in the comments below. So to enter, just leave a comment down below and just make sure to include one of your social media handles or a link to one of your accounts. That way we can actually reach out to you. And also, if you're getting any value from this video so far, please let us know by hitting the like button down below. Okay, now after creating your long-term plan, you now need to start researching. This is how we're gonna find those products that will get us to a 7-figure business. So what I would do first is find at least 10 different products that are selling like hotcakes on Amazon. And to help you start finding those 10 products, we actually have a bunch of helpful data that you can access, including this blog post that shows the most popular categories on Amazon. I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment down below, but how I would actually use this data is by diving deeper into each category and actually looking in the subcategories to find the best-selling products. For example, on Amazon. You can do this by going to the best sellers page, and then on the left-hand side, click all the way through this category tree until you reach the very bottom. But after landing on a product, you still need to figure out whether or not it's actually a good idea. And this is where data comes in. So for each product I'm evaluating, I figure out these 3 things. First is the level of demand. So how many people are actually buying this type of product on Amazon? Profitability. Is this a product that I could sell for at least $20 to $30 minimum? And then the third one is competition level. Is this a category that is only dominated by the big brands? Or could a new smaller seller like me actually come in and compete? After I find at least 10 good product ideas that check each of those 3 boxes, I then narrow it down to the best product on that list. And how I would choose that product is based on one additional factor: improvement potential. Now, there's a lot of competition on Amazon. So to stick out, you ideally want to find a product that you can slightly tweak to just make it a little bit better. Making just one small improvement can really help your chances of breaking into any market. So how I would actually do this is by reading through a bunch of Amazon reviews to pick out what type of things customers are saying they do and don't like about each product. But honestly, rather than doing that all manually, I just use AI. Within Jungle Scout, there's an awesome tool for this called review analysis. For any product on Amazon, it will instantly analyze the reviews and give you a summary that includes the most common positive and negative comments. It also gives you suggestions for how you can improve that product, and then it even gives you recommendations for competing with the product. With these types of notes in mind, I would then take them to my supplier and ask how we can incorporate them and bring an improved product to the market, which brings us to step number 3, sourcing. All around the world, there are hundreds of thousands of suppliers that can create any type of product you can imagine. But just like it's really important to find a great product, you also want to find a reliable supplier that can make high quality products at a low price. And there are a number of different ways that you can find suppliers, but by far the easiest way is to use Alibaba. How it works is just like Amazon. You run a search for the type of product you're looking to sell. And then from this list here, you can then open up each listing to learn more about the product, learn more about the supplier, and then you can also contact them directly. Now, what I would do is to contact at least 5 to 10 suppliers per product and send them an initial contact email using this template. The goal of this email is to just introduce yourself, explain the product you're looking to buy, and most importantly, ask detailed questions about their pricing, shipping, and payment options. Now, don't worry, if you want your own copy of this template, you can download it for free inside of our written guide for how to sell on Amazon. This is a massive PDF that includes a bunch of step-by-step tutorials, expert tips, free tools, templates, and much more, all for free. And so again, along with all the other resources I've mentioned in this video, you can find them in the pinned comment down below. Okay, now at this point, after hearing back from the suppliers, I would narrow it down to the best ones based on 3 factors: their experience, their level of communication, which is basically just how easy it is for you to communicate with them, but also how detailed they are in their responses back to you. And then the third factor here is, of course, price. Once I find a few suppliers that check all 3 boxes, I then reach out to them and order samples. And this is where things start to get really fun, because when you start touching and feeling the physical product, you're gonna fall in love with the idea of potentially selling it. When you receive the samples though, just use them in a way that you think customers would and see how it holds up with a little bit of wear and tear. Based on that information, you should have a really good idea of what supplier you wanna work with. And just one more piece of advice here: rarely will a supplier be perfect in every single area. Usually you just have to weigh up the pros and cons and go with the one that ticks the most boxes. Once you've done that, you'll now be ready to buy some inventory and move on to step 4, listing your product on Amazon. Your listing is how people will find and purchase your product, so this step is incredibly important. The first thing I would prioritize though is my product images. Earlier, I talked about reading through reviews as a way to find out what people like and dislike about the current products. So I would actually take that same exact information and use it for my product images. For example, if most people are saying that the product is too weak, then I'd create an image that shows them just how strong my product is. Consumer insights are basically little data points that you can use to guide your marketing. And speaking of data, the next thing I'd focus on is creating a data-driven title, bullet points, and description. This means I'm gonna use a keyword research tool to figure out what search terms most people are already using on Amazon to buy my type of product. Once I know what those keywords are and have them sorted by search volume, the goal from here then would be to take the highest volume keywords and then try to smartly weave them into my listing without keyword stuffing. And because I hate writing listings from scratch, again, I'm gonna leverage AI to write it for me. Built right into Jungle Scout's listing builder tool, there's an awesome feature called AI Assist that simplifies the listing creation process. With a click of a single button, AI Assist takes your top keywords from your keyword bank and automatically generates a high-performing title, compelling bullet points, and an expansive product description. Within seconds, you have a strong foundation of optimized copy that you can then leverage and make further edits from. And as you begin making edits, the AI-driven listing optimization score will tell you how likely your listing is to rank and convert sales on Amazon. It even gives you live feedback and instant recommendations that will help you improve your product's ranking in Amazon's search results. But now, once your listing is all filled out, you'll now be ready to move on to step 5 and officially launch your product on Amazon. Like I mentioned earlier, the faster you can get reviews, the quicker you can start scaling your business. But how do you actually get your first reviews? Well, there are 3 ways. The first way is to just simply ask. And I know that might sound silly, but a lot of sellers don't know that after a customer buys your product, you can send them an email requesting a product review. In your account, you do this by manually opening up each order and then clicking this button here to send them the email. Or if you want to save a whole bunch of time, you can just automate this entire process with Jungle Scout's review automation tool. All you have to do is toggle this switch to the on position and the rest is history. From here on out, every 24 hours, Jungle Scout will automatically send out review request emails to each of your eligible orders. Now, the second way to get more reviews is to price competitively. In at least the first few months of launching, I would only be selling at my break-even price. In other words, this is the lowest possible price that you could afford to sell at and still remain profitable. To do this, you can either simply lower your price or you can attach a coupon to your product. As customers browse Amazon, these coupons will show up in a bright green badge. And as you can tell, they're pretty hard to miss. It really just makes your product pop out compared to all the other products on the page that don't have one. However, the question many sellers wonder at this stage is it better to just lower my price or should I keep a higher price and then offer a coupon? I'll say that we've seen different results on this, but what I think worked well for us was offering a small 5% discount and then going back to our price and increasing it by another 5%. That way we aren't really dipping below our break-even price just to take advantage of the visual benefits that coupons offer. But either way, having a competitively priced product will help attract more attention to your listing. But that doesn't mean shoppers will actually see your product on Amazon. We talked about this earlier, but in the beginning, you're not showing up organically yet. So this is where advertising comes into play. By bidding on high volume keywords, Amazon ads will help thrust your new product right in front of potential customers. Basically, this is the only way you're able to cut the line and appear in front of your more superior competitors. Advertising is crucial in the early stages, especially when your competitors already have thousands of reviews. Now, it's not a complicated process, but like everything else you've learned in this video, it can be better explained through a more extensive walkthrough, which is exactly why we created a free 2-hour Amazon course that teaches you every single step of launching your own private label business. This next video will cover everything from product research, creating your own listing, and how to launch your product and get your first sales. So thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.